Hey, my loves, it's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 21 review. Baby, this was a good episode. Yeah, buddy, it was a good one. Yes. And we got a Keisha's Theater in this video, so get ready. So, we pick up exactly where we left off last week with Kiki and Mel having lunch with each other, and Kiki is spilling the tea. Honey, she said, I'm done protecting my cousin. So Kiki says, Tisha has an ex-boyfriend that is saying he broke up with her because he found out she was messing with Marceau. So is this like a college boyfriend or something? Because what does it have to do with the price of tea in China? That was in high school. I'm so confused about this. Or is this a recent boyfriend? Like, what's going on? Like, it's giving me like this is some old mess from like back in the day, because it don't really make sense to me. So she then goes on to say, I couldn't live with myself and not tell Tisha, so I called her and told her I wanted to talk to her about something. The next day, I didn't hear from her. This guy is saying he sent Tisha a message saying he wanted to talk to her and she didn't respond. Well, I wouldn't respond either, especially if it's like an old boyfriend from high school, college, or whatever. Like, what are we talking about? Or once again, is this like some recent stuff? Because I'm so confused about why is this even relevant? Why is this even a conversation? So she then says, so I called her and told her I wanted to talk to her about something. The next day, I didn't hear from her. This guy is saying he sent Tisha a message saying he wanted to talk to her and she didn't respond. Next thing I know, she calls me saying, did you call this boy, asking him questions about me and Marceau? I'm so confused. I'm like, no, this is something I didn't seek. It was brought to me. She was like, I feel like that's a little shady. I said, you came to me about firing blank. Okay. Mel was like, wait a minute. So she wanted you to fire your blank, which I think she was saying like best friend or something, who ain't accused of sleeping with her husband, but she want her blank, I guess, which is some girl that Tisha hang out with, her quote unquote like bestie or something, who's accused of sleeping with her husband to stay by her side. This is like a game of Clue. Like, what? So Tisha wanted Kiki to fire her friend, I guess, who came to her with this information about her ex-boyfriend. And yet and still, Tisha is remaining friends with some chick that has been accused of sleeping with Marceau. Got it. Okay. So Kiki was like, I'm really seeing how you're moving. My blank isn't the one spreading this stuff. This stuff is spread by other people that he's naming. So this is a guy. Okay, her friend is a guy. So Mel was like, you think she's heard about it before? And Kiki says yes. Mel says, so did you fire your blank? Kiki says no. She feels like maybe I was being disloyal to her by not telling her as soon as she thought I should. I said, actually, I was going to tell you. I invited you over. However, you didn't show up. So, okay. So she's saying that Tisha did feel some type of way because she felt like Kiki should have brought this information to her sooner. So this is something of relevancy, because if it wasn't, she wouldn't be like, well, why didn't you rush to tell me? So I need to know what's going on. Y'all know anything about this man, this ex of Tisha's? Like, what is going on here? Did she cheat on Marceau? Like, what is happening? I need information. She was like, you could have called me and said it. Mel says some things you want to be face to face. Kiki says, that's what I said. And she just kept on saying, why didn't you tell me? I'm telling you why. You're not listening. She's saying all kind of excuses to blame me. I really had intentions to have her back. I did write her and say, look, we need to sit down and talk about this, because you blaming me ain't gonna work. Now, based off what I'm hearing so far, I feel like Kiki did the right thing. She reached out to her to tell her what was going on. She didn't pop up, but then you want to blame me and say I should have told you sooner. I guess after you learned the information from somewhere else, I don't know. But based off what Kiki is saying, she did the right thing. Like, I reached out to you to tell you what's going on. I didn't, go and talk about it to nobody else. I brought it straight to you and you didn't show up. So it is what it is at this point. Okay. So as of right now, I'm siding with Kiki, y'all. Okay. So Mel was like, I'm just saying, how she gonna be more upset with you than she is at the girl who keeps being accused of sleeping with her husband? I mean, what would y'all do if y'all had a friend that is being accused of sleeping with your husband? Would you continue to be friends with this person until you have physical proof? Or would you fall back from the person? Melody Ignatel gonna say, this is sounding really challenging and remedial. I ain't heard nobody use the word remedial in so long. Kiki says, I've been holding back with Tisha, but at this point, I am about ready to be like, girl. Mel says, do you think that it's true? Kiki says, I don't think he had a threesome with that girl. Mel says, do you think that he and blank has something going on? Kiki says, I don't know. Now, this is why I don't think at this point that Kiki is necessarily trying to be malicious towards Tisha, because she could have put 10 on 10 and was like, yep, I believe it. I do believe he had a threesome. Yep, I do believe he's sleeping with the girl. It seemed to me like she was trying to be honest and fair with her assumption, assessment, or whatever. So Mel was like, what does Tisha say? Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what she said regarding my marriage. So I'm going to say where there's smoke, there's fire. And God, it's smoke and flames that I'm seeing over here. And I mean, as far as Mel's point of view, I get where she coming from, because you had a lot to say about my marriage when I was going through it. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of snide remarks. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I feel like there is smoke, fire, a hailstorm, a tornado, a hurricane, everything else when it comes to Marceau. Do I think that after all of this time or over the years or at some point in their marriage that Marceau was cheating on her? Absolutely 100%. I don't know if he's still doing it, currently doing it, but that man has cheated on her and she know it. She knows it 100%, but she gonna stick beside him. She gonna stick beside him. That's my man. Now I'm gonna stick beside him. That's Tisha, okay? So Kiki was like, there's another thing. And Mel was like, another thing? Jesus, what is next? Kiki says, did you see her release her daughter's hair care line? Mel was like, yeah, I heard about it. So Kiki was like, they released it. And I'm confused as to if she's partnered with Stormy. And Mel says, why do you think she's partnered with Stormy? Kiki says, because on the website, on the return policy, it has Stormy's exact return policy word for word. And then at the very end, it has the website Canvas Beauty. The producers even show the screenshot on the screen, child. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't even know about this. I didn't know anything about this when it was circulating on social media. I did not know anything about it. So this was a shock to me. Mel says, I know you lying. The way that they were in that meeting, I wouldn't say they're doing nothing together. Kiki says, if she's not under Stormy, then whoever edited that did a terrible job and they need to fix that because that's straight up plagiarism. Mel says in her confessional, Tisha has garnered the name copy and paste. Woo! That was a good one. There have been many, I will say, close similarities over the past few years as it pertains to Tisha and what she does versus someone in this friend circle has already done. Me being one of them. The fact that we are now learning her shipping policy is directly copied from Stormy's. All I can say is, Stormy, it's your turn now. And I'm like, Mel was trying to tell y'all. Mel was trying to tell y'all, but y'all wanted to side with the ops, honey. And look at where you've ended up now. Look at where you've ended up now. And we all know in the past that Tisha has copied Mel. And let me just say this as far as this situation. I've had websites done for me. I've had marketing, promotion, whatever you want to say done for me. I myself, I'm going to speak for me. Anytime you have to put up any type of verbiage, text, or whatever, I've always had to write those things out myself and give it to the graphic design artist, the web person, or whatever. I've never personally worked with somebody that does that for you. And even if you did hire somebody that was like, I'll fill in the blanks and write all this stuff up for you, you would think to be smart enough, I'm just saying, to proofread these things and go over it with a fine-tooth comb to know that everything is okay. But at the same time, I wouldn't trust anybody to write my verbiage about my business because it's not your business. You can't speak for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that are typical policies, but when it comes to about me section or about the products and this, that, and the third, I've always had to give that information over to the next person. So something in the milk ain't clean and it's spoiled, Tisha. Ooh, girl, there ain't no excuse for that. Not a nail excuse. Maurice has bought Kimmy a Jeep as, I guess, a surprise for her because he says he want to make her happy, and he realizes if she's going through her cancer situation that tomorrow isn't promised for anybody. Now, mind you, he got like on a waist trainer because he threw his back out. Marceau comes so they can have a little quick chit chat. And Maurice tells him that, you know, she always wanted this Jeep. I was trying to get her to get, you know, a fancier car or whatever. But she was like, I want to ride with the top down and let the wind blow in my hair. And I'm like, baby, you don't have that much hair right now. And Marceau was like, no, don't say that. And Maurice was like, I mean, this real talk. Maurice then brings up their sex life. And if I hear one more thing about him not getting enough sex, I am going to run in the streets naked. And nobody wants to see that. Child, he talking about something, they were going from having sex like 4 times a week to now it's like 2 times a month. And Marceau was like a normal couple, like a normal marriage, like, you sound crazy. And Marceau was like, you telling that lady it's all in her mind. It's crazy. This just like me telling you right now that the pain you feeling in your back is a mind thing. Like, you sound dumb. Maurice still makes a joke out of it by taking off his waist trainer and bending over Thomason. I mean, but for that, I'll be in pain. But then he says, I get it. I understand it. Once again, if Kimmy like it, I love it. So then we see Stormy at her crib. She was sick with strep throat and it was advancing to toxic shock syndrome, which I'd never heard of, but it's obvious that, you know, she doing too much and she needs the rest. So she and Courtney laying in the bed and they talking to one another about, you know, what's been going on. And she says that Kiki was the first person to reach out to her. And she was like, you know, I really like Kiki. And he was like, I like Kiki too, even though you called her Darkwing Duck. So in her confessional, she was laughing, talking about when she saw Kiki on the Crime Stopper thing, that she looked like Darkwing Duck to her. And I don't think that was like shady, nothing like that. I would Joan too. It was funny. So Stormy was like, you know, Tisha texts me, but I don't think I text her back. You don't know this, but Tisha launched a website for her daughters and she copied and pasted Canvas Beauty shipping policy and left contact Canvas Beauty. And he was looking like, are you kidding me? So she was like, you know, people were calling her out and, you know, it made its way to social media and everything. And she was like, you know, I feel sorry for her. Like, if she could have just came to me and asked me for my help. And so then she brings up, you know, the Scotts are celebrating Kimmy finishing radiation. And she was like, I'm going to talk to her then. And Courtney was like, oh, okay, they're having a barbecue, but I'm not going because I don't want to be around Marceau, because if he, basically Courtney coming from a place of, if he say something slick, it's going to be time to nuck if you buck, okay? And I ain't got time to be playing with this man and going to jail or anything like that, because he look like the type that'll try to sue you, okay? So then Tisha talks to Marceau at the site for Scott Realty. And lo and behold, him and his C-cup titties is wearing a fitted black t-shirt. While you want to sit up here and talk about e-commerce and how t-shirt businesses aren't really anything to you, but you stay repping black with no bra on, offending all of us. Don't nobody want to see your saggy titties, sir. Go get fitted for a bra. Wear one of Tisha's. So Marceau brings up Maurice asking, is he okay with everybody being at the barbecue? And he was like, I'm telling him, like, I'm good. I don't care. It goes back to the way it was before I knew Stormy and Courtney. I don't value that. I don't want to be around people that call you names and this, that, and the third. Like, you want to act like you so not pressed, but obviously you're pressed like a panini, sir. Like, please get it together. Then he continues on by saying, I've just been having a day. Apparently someone called the city of Huntsville and said we're illegally gambling. And Tisha said, it's so sad that you have people calling the city on you when the only thing you're trying to do is run a business and the benefit is to give away homes. Okay, that's a beautiful thing that y'all trying to, give away a home or whatever to a family or whatever. But you cannot have a casino night in a business. Like, that is against the law. Like, nobody told y'all this. Like, especially if y'all thought y'all was going to play with real money. Like, that's illegal. You can't do something like that. Like, come on, bro. Like, even I know that. So Tisha then brings up her website ordeal and says that she reached out to the web designer and asked, what is this? Marceau was like, isn't he the same one that did her site? Talking about Stormy. She was like, I don't know. Marceau says it was probably just a template and we should have caught it. Either way it go, whether it was a template or whether y'all did copy and paste her stuff, it falls back on y'all and y'all were in the wrong. Simple. And I 100% believe that Tisha went on that girl page and copied and pasted it onto hers and did not proofread it to take out the Canvas Beauty email address. That's what I believe. Tisha then says, but my thing is, I paid you a lot of money for this website. Marceau says your customers didn't catch that. It was probably just some hater. Tisha gonna talk about some, absolutely it was a hater. Girl, everybody in the world ain't hating on you. You are not that special or important of a person for everybody to be hating on you. What is there to hate on? You got an 8-inch husband with titties bigger than yours, hips wider than yours. He looked like the Grinch that stole Christmas. You got a speech impediment. Y'all going from house to house to house to house to house. You really do act like you slow and rode on a little yellow bus. Your husband allegedly cheats on you. He's misogynistic. He's an a-hole. Like, what is there to copy? What is there to hate on? I'm so confused, girl. Please get over yourself. She then goes on to say, I don't understand why I get so much hate. I do so much for people. I don't talk about people. I don't do people wrong. And then she continues to blame the web designer for the mistake on the website. And Tisha, you do talk about people. Okay, let's not act like you're some martyr, like you're holier than thou and you don't do this and you don't do that. You do. And yeah, you do get a lot of hate. You do. Some you bring upon yourself, other you don't. But don't try to sit up here and act like you're clueless to why things in your life are going down the way that they're going. I can't wait for this reunion. Let me just tell you that much. So Stormy arrives for the barbecue. It's the day of the barbecue, child. Kimmy and Maurice are shocked to learn that Courtney is not coming because of Marceau. And after Maurice keep on pressing the issue, Stormy was like, I'm done talking about it. Especially since my husband not here to talk for himself. So we gonna end this conversation right now. But he did say he want to play it. Child. So Mel come in, honey, with her little coochie cutters on. She just happy and excited. She brought a little dessert or something for the little shindig. She ready to play and eat, honey. The Fletchers arrive and the Scotts arrive. What in the Hulk Hogan was Tisha wearing? What was this ripped up tank top that looked like somebody's dog got to it? Or looked like a mouse then went and started biting on it and eating it? Like, girl, what was that? Because that was not the one nor the two. Please throw that away. So Martell arrives. And at this point, they just started a spade game where they playing Tonk. And Marceau go around the table and speak to everybody. And he speak to Mel. He was like, hey, Mel. She paused for a quick second and then regathered herself and ignored him and did not speak back. And you see him kind of pausing, like, look at her like, you really ain't gonna speak back? No, she's not, sir. Y'all were just going through a whole court battle where you tried to take them kids from her and tried to get child support. Absolutely, I don't have nothing to say to you. Get out my face. And I would tell him, don't ever touch me again. That's a violation. Find your ass. So then Kiki and Amin arrive. And Stormy says to Tisha, y'all good? And Tisha's like, I'm good with everybody. Okay. Now, mind you, I forgot to mention this, that at some point, I guess around the time the whole thing with Tisha using her return policy on her website, I'm assuming. But I saw this on Twitter where somebody retweeted this post that Stormy had put up on her IG story at some point, and it said, I wish I would subject myself to being around a man who act like a female. And then she put, whose wife copies everything canvas. The reunion gonna be good. I can't wait. Woo! Tisha in her confessional says, I don't know what it is with Kiki. I don't know why she's always talking about my marriage. I think I made it clear at kickboxing to keep my marriage out of your mouth. Now, I hear exactly what she's saying. I told her, don't talk to me about my marriage. But in this case, it's like she damned if she do, she damned if she don't. If she didn't tell you, then she being fake. If she does tell you, it's you staying in my marriage. Like, she did tell you, and then it went from, why didn't you tell me quicker? So it's just like, it's seeming to me like the girl can't never do nothing right when it comes to Tisha at this point. So Kiki comes over to the table and speak to everybody. And she said, hey, Letitia, and had her arm out to hug her. Baby, Tisha got up and dipped on her real quick, pulled a little Kim and walked right on past her. Baby, Kiki stood there like, I know this B did not. Did she really just play me like this on camera? Oh, she really called herself being mad? Oh, okay. Baby, Kiki went from 0 to 100 real quick. And this is when we're about to get into Keisha Theater. Y'all ready? Girl, you're so stupid. You so stupid. You ain't see that? You ain't see the shade? Well, her ignorant. Tisha returns to the table. I'll tell you, you know about blank, right? Huh? What? It's funny how I always get blamed for everything. She want to blame me for stuff that she don't even blame the people that need to be blamed. And that's so effing ignorant and stupid. I don't blame her for half the stuff I should blame her for. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. Reese, we need a new deck of cards. Evidently, blank supposed to be Stormy, girl, you listening? You listening? I'm trying to explain to you what's going on. Yeah. I'm listening. I'm listening. Okay, well, evidently, there's this rumor that Blank is supposed to be having an affair with Marceau, with him. Yeah, him. Grinch that stole Christmas. Big titties. She come to me and say, your Blank is spreading this information. You got a queen, you got a spade, you got 7 cards. Oh, okay. All right. I just want to make sure you are good with me. Okay. All right. In her confessional, I'm trying to talk to Stormy and they trying to overtalk me to have this card game. Okay. Kiki then snatches the cards out of Stormy's hands. I tell you what, let's do this. Two or what? Kiki in her confessional. There's no card game that's going on. Ain't no card game about to happen. If I'm talking, shut up and listen. Reese, we need a new deck of cards. She done threw the cards on the floor. We need a new deck of cards, Reese. Reese, you got some new cards? You got some cue cards? You got a debit card, a MasterCard, a Visa card, a EBT card, a Social Security card. You got an ID card. You got a card. Okay, hold on. Is there like a table where y'all can talk? Like, oh my God. We don't need to. We don't need to talk. I'm good. I'm fine. We don't need to talk about nothing. I mean, or at least acknowledge the conversation. You know, it seemed like there's one that needs to be had. She needs to acknowledge it with him. That's what she needs to do, and not me for finding out what's going on. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. At this point, a cameraman is seen running across the yard because he know it's about to go down. Blank called me on 3-way with the guy. I'm asking the guy, what's going on? We talking about me firing my Blank? Reese, y'all got some bottled water? Y'all got some bottled water? You got some Smart water? You got some Fiji water? Cause I don't drink Dasani or Aquafina. That get my pH balance off. Reese, bring me a bottle of water and a Chico stick. How am I gonna fire my Blank without knowing what's going on? What I look like? That ain't even possible. How I'm just gonna fire my Blank? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. Reese, we need a new deck of cards. Reese, you heard me? We need a new deck of cards. And bring me a hot dog, but don't put no mustard on it. Just a little bit of ketchup and barbecue sauce, okay? Thank you, Reese. I call her to tell her what's going on. Reese! Reese, you stupid. Reese! Why how you hear your brother? He's so stupid. She don't even show up. Her, right there. Her. She don't even show up. And I'm supposed to call her and run up in behind her and tell her information? Girl, please, get the hell up out of here with that bull crap. Ain't nobody gonna run up in behind you and tell you some information. So you wanna be mad? Be mad. Get glad and scratch your ass. I don't give a... Why would you do that? I did it. What you gonna do? Nothing. Hey, get her. We're not doing this. Get her. This what we doing now? That's exactly what we doing. Where Reese at? Where my brother at? Where he at? Reese. Somebody get Reese. Get Reese on the phone. Send him a kite. Get a pigeon. Somebody get Reese. Be mad with who you need to be mad with. Don't be mad with me. I'm about to go in the house. Y'all, I was about to come outside and tell y'all it's time to eat. The macaroni and cheese done. Do a whole drink on Tisha. She need to get the F up out of here. She got to go, Kimmy. She got to go. Call the police and drug test your motherfucking ass. Do it then, B. Do it then. I mean, then start moving furniture to get to Marceau, and Marceau dodging him by doing a Cupid shuffle to the left. Get it right now, y'all. Left foot again. Yo, Marceau was shuffling around that furniture trying to get away from, I mean, he talked all that mess and is a punk. He is a punk, honey, a punk. And the episode goes off. And scene, y'all. That was a mess. Like, it was only like a little solo cup. How did all that water or drink splash on her? It looked like a tidal wave, like she was at Six Flags. Like, girl, I don't understand how Tisha just sat there. And Tisha want to act like she rough and stuff too, and just sat there. And then it was when Kiki stood up and looked at her like, I dare you to do something. Jump. Leap. I dare you. I still mop you with this dress on. And Tisha just stood there. Just sat there. Baby, I would have leapfrog on Kiki, honey. Let me tell you one thing. Now, this is what I will say about this whole thing. Obviously, Kiki was triggered and felt some type of way when Tisha flat out ignored her. So, in this scene, to me, Kiki reverted back to being a child. It was very childish. You know how that's some stuff that you do when you was a kid, where you sit there and tell somebody about a story that's going on with you and somebody else that's sitting right there at the table, and you talking all loud and stuff to piss them off and to get a reaction out of them. And the more Tisha ignored her, the more riled up she became. And she lost her power in that moment and her control. Tisha had all of the control in that moment, and she lost control of herself. Whether she came into the situation right or wrong, she was dead wrong for throwing that drink on that girl. It wasn't even that necessary. She was ignoring you. She didn't say anything to you, but you were just belligerently mad. And she probably felt like she had every right to be mad. I have not done anything to you but tried to tell you information, and then you twist it and turn around on me, and then you want to sit up here and not speak to me. And let's not forget that as soon as Tisha found out about the Crime Stopper situation, the first thing that she reverted to was, I hope she's not back on drugs. I hope she's not using, and all of this type of stuff. And it's just like, you want to tell her not to talk about your marriage, but you didn't have no problem going around and telling people about her addiction. You haven't had any problem talking about her addiction in this season. You still talk about it. You still make references to it. Look at what your husband just said, which is not fair to throw that up in her face every time something goes wrong. That's not fair. It really isn't. Obviously, I don't feel like they can have a relationship with each other. They just cannot. It's too much history. It's too much toxicity, too much drama between them two, too much family drama between them two. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I will say that Kiki was wrong for the way that she handled herself, because like I said, she made herself look like the villain with the way that she behaved. You know, if she would have went about the situation totally different, she would have came out unscathed and looking like she was, quote unquote, the winner or being mature about the situation. But she did not. And, you know, she got to learn how to control that anger, child. But Tisha, girl, you got some explaining to do. And then this makes me wonder, in that little scene that we saw in the trailer, when Marceau asks Tisha, has she ever cheated on him? And she says, I can't answer that question for you. I'm wondering, does that question tie into this ex-boyfriend situation? Y'all need to let me know the scoop on this, because I don't know what's going on. And I just need for Tisha to stop with the woe is me act, and stop acting like everything just happens to her and that she doesn't have anything to do with any of it. Everybody's just against her. It's me against the world, like she Tupac. Girl, get out of here. You ain't a Fady Shakur. But as far as the initial situation between Kiki and Tisha, I think that Kiki did right by her, and it's unfortunate if it did go down that way that Tisha then took that information and then blamed her for it. That's not right. It's simply not right. And then to blame her and then not talk to her and then not speak to her, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Both of them are wrong to me. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode down below in the comment section, child. I'm going to give tonight's episode an A. It was really, 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 really good. Let's talk about it all. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.